So the reason why they're holding my child currently right now, they're saying it's due to my unstable housing situation. However, I've had stable housing since 4 months and they still haven't come check the house. They're still keeping her in custody. We're saying there's no reason for them to still have her because I've had solid, stable housing for the past 4 months of my life since moving here.
When I talked to the social worker finally, because I had called, when I met her, it was like down to the wire. They're trying to close this case. When I first talked to her, she said the reason this has dragged on for so long, 2 years of COVID. Okay, so let's just say that's why it's the longest case in history. But I think it's God, and this is why. Because at the 11th hour, I end up with her. I have a 5-bedroom home in Eva Beach. It's huge, on the golf course. We're pastors. I live with one other older 79-year-old lady. My kids are a fireman on the island, number 1 in his class for fire department recently. 25-year-old. I've got a Coast Guard on the island, Hawaiian Coast Guard for Honolulu Coast Guard, and I got a Hawaiian dredging. All straight A students, good, no drugs, no alcohol, solid kids.
What church?
It's called the True Vine. You can come anytime. We meet Nanakuli Tracks Beach every Saturday morning, 11 o'clock. You can find me on YouTube, and I will definitely give you my number. Point being is, I've had stable housing. I tried to call her lawyer as well as try to call her social worker and tell her, okay, problem solved. So what else is there? Oh, and the social worker told him, oh, this is the 11th hour. You can't come in at the 11th hour. This case is over. We're ready to close this down and drop this kid out. Unless you know somebody's going to drop this kid, I don't need to talk to you. And I said, excuse me? The case ain't over till it's over. And by the way, that's when God shows up and shows off. I brought the Calvary. I know I was the fish director for the fish radio station here on the island 22 years ago. I know all the pastors. I have a master's degree in theology and divinity. I'm a coach and a counselor, and I help people like her. So I told him straight up, when she called me one time on a visit, she said, oh my God, her teeth are all wrecked. They were perfectly fine a week ago, and now there are scratches on them, and something's going on. She's a complete wreck. So she's like, what should I do? Should I call the police? I said, no, call your social worker. That's her job. 6 days, Paul, before they called her back or me. And I'm like, excuse me, if something's happening trauma to that child, you're responsible and it took you 6 days. So I called up the lawyer and I said, you too. 6 days for you too. She said, well, her excuse was, your husband's phone number showed up on my phone at my law office, so I didn't know it was you calling. I'm like, so really you have a private law firm and you only take select calls of people's phone numbers you know? They're doing something fishy. And I called them out on it. So they don't like me. And I told them, I live in the private. I have a 508c ministry. I'm not in your jurisdiction. I'm above your jurisdiction. You guys, you do the right